three groups: posterior, anterior, and lateral. Posterior compartment. There we have the superficial muscles and deep. Superficial and deep muscles. The superficial group is contain this triceps surae muscle. First of all, triceps surae. You see, the triceps surae muscle has three heads: the gastrocnemius muscle, the lateral head and medial head. You see two heads for the gastrocnemius muscle, and this one, the soli muscle. Soli muscle. Gastrocnemius muscle. This belly is originated from the condyles of the humerus, from the popliteal surface of this condyles. But soleus muscle, you can see that the soleus muscle is originated from the head of the fibula, and then it's make arc and continue here in the place of the origination from the soleus line of the posterior surface of the tibia. So these heads journey together and make common Achilles tendon, which inserted to the calcaneus tuberosity, to the calcaneus bone. This muscle, you see, triceps surae muscle, it flex knee joint, it flex ankle joint. There, it's also save our vertical posture, to save vertical position. While the, for example, damage the broken the current Achilles tendon, person can't stand. Supposed to come walk with this. To the Achilles tendon, to the calcaneus tuberosity. This one, muscle, triceps surae, superficial there. Close to this muscle, we have also the long plantar muscle. Long plantar muscle. No, here we have it. This small head, which originated near the lateral part of the lateral belly of the gastrocnemius muscle, and its tendon journey to the Achilles tendon. You see the muscle similar like the palmaris longus muscle. Long constant and short small belly and long tendon, thin narrow tendon. Then the superficial group. Then the deep one. You see, deep group. First of all, you can see that the leg fascia separate this superficial and deep group. And now we have this, you can see these fibers, this fascia, which covered the deep muscles, and you see this fascia runs from the fibula to the border of the tibia and make this separate compartment. No, but first we can say this muscle, popliteus muscle, it's superior, it's like the anconeus muscle. It runs from the posterior, from the lateral epicondyle to the tibia, to the dorsal side, participate in the knee flexion. So, the muscles of the posterior group. First, we can say that this muscle started from the posterior side of the tibia, interosseous membrane, and fibula. Tibia, interosseous membrane, and fibula. And the tendons of this muscle runs back from the medial malleolus to the back side of the medial malleolus, and then comes to the plantar surface of the foot. So this muscle, we call this group flexor muscles. So, first of all, we can say that the most medial muscle here, the most medial muscle, this flexor digitorum muscle longus. Flexor digitorum longus. Flexor digitorum longus, it's originated from the posterior side of the surface of the tibia, interosseous membrane. Its tendon runs behind the medial malleolus, here it is. In the second canal, it goes to the plantar surface, and there divided into 4 tendons. These tendons run to the corresponding toes, from 2nd to 5th toes. And the tendon of this muscle make the fissure. You see, it's split into the 2 heads. Sorry, no, it runs to the distal phalanx. These 4 tendons run to the distal phalanx of the 2nd till 5th toes. Flexor digitorum longus muscle. It's flex ankle joint, it flex toes, and it also do like this adduction of the foot. Then next one, the posterior tibialis muscle. Here is posterior tibialis muscle. It little bit deeper. Behind, in front of these vessels. This one, tibialis posterior muscle. This muscle originated from the both bones, from the fibula, tibia, and interosseous membrane. Tibialis posterior. It runs here. This tendon, it's tendon of the tibialis posterior muscle, runs in the first canal. You see this connective tissue we call retinaculum flexorum. It's again flexor retinaculum, and it's this first canal and goes to the medial cuneiform bone, and to the base of the first metatarsal bone. It's flex and also participate in the adduction. And the most lateral muscle, here it is, the flexor hallucis longus muscle. It's originated from the dorsal side of the fibula, from the interosseous membrane, and you see if these two, it's more long muscles, this little bit shorter. It's the flexor hallucis longus muscle. It runs in the third canal. Here it is tendon in the third canal under the retinaculum flexorum, and comes here to the distal phalanx of the first row of the hallux. Clear? Flexor hallucis longus muscle. Posterior group. Anterior group. You see, anteromedial part, we have only tibia, which covered with the fascias and skin, and fascias attached here. The anterior group, here it is. Anterior group, it has three muscles. Tibialis anterior muscle, here it is. It started from the lateral condyle of the tibia and from the lateral surface of the tibia, little bit from the interosseous membrane. Tibialis anterior muscle, it goes under the retinaculum extensorum. Here we have two retinaculum extensorum, extensor group, superior and inferior. This one inferior. It runs in the first canal. So here is this canal. Here is the tendon. This tendon comes to the medial border of the foot, to the medial cuneiform bone, and you see it extends foot and adducted, and also rise medial border of the foot. One. Next muscle, here it is, this one, it's originated from the lateral condyle and from the fibula also, this one, and also from the interosseous membrane. This extensor digitorum longus muscle, here it is, extensor digitorum longus. It runs in the third canal, under the retinaculum flexorum, extensorum, superior and inferior, and here it's split into five tendons, Clear? Four of these tendons runs to the dorsal side of the toes from the second to fifth, and fifth one goes to the middle border of the foot, or lateral border of the foot, to the fifth metatarsal bone. It makes pronate foot. We call this bundle peroneus tertius muscle. So extends toes and pronate foot. You see, this, while we do something like this, is supinated foot. This foot pronated, hyperpronation like this, something like this. So, clear, yes? These tendons, they split it into the fibers, bundle inside to the middle phalanx, other to the distal phalanges, similar like the extensor of the on the hand, extensor digitorum on the hand, similar here. But you see, in the hand we have only one extensor digitorum, and here we have extensor digitorum longus. So anywhere we have extensor digitorum brevis. So then, this muscle, you see, it started deeper. It's lower. It's originated from the interosseous membrane and from the fibula. This muscle we call extensor hallucis longus muscle. Extensor hallucis longus muscle runs between these two, first in the second canal, then it continues to the first toe and extends it. Rise the medial border of the foot and participate in the adduction of the foot. Clear? Extensor hallucis longus muscle. Then lateral group, here it is, it's two muscles, one and two muscles in the lateral group. By the way, the fascia of the leg, crural fascia, it's make two intramuscular septum. Anterior, something like this. And posterior, here it is, posterior intramuscular septum. You see, this anterior and posterior intramuscular septum separate this lateral group. These muscles fibularis or peroneus. This fibularis longus and fibularis brevis. Peroneus longus, peroneus brevis muscle. This muscle originated from the fibula, lateral surface of the fibula, longus from the head, brevis from the middle part of the fibula. And these together, they run to the back side of the medial malleolus. To the back side of the medial malleolus, the tendons of this muscle fixed by the retinaculum peroneorum, fibular retinaculum, superior here, inferior here, and they run to the plantar surface. Peroneus brevis inset to the fifth metatarsal bone. Peroneus longus runs here through the whole foot to the medial surface and it inserted to the medial cuneiform bone and to the first metatarsal bone. So you see here, this peroneus longus tendon, you see, we have three muscles which inserted to the medial cuneiform bone. Tibialis anterior, tibialis posterior, and here peroneus longus. These tendons, they work like the fixators, active fixators for the transverse arc. They rise medial cuneiform bone, and this tendon of the peroneus longus, of course, these muscles, they are flexor muscles, but also pronator muscles. And they pronate foot and fix this transverse arc. Clear? It's about the muscles, a little bit about the fascias, about the topography. I will divide the topography into two parts: topography of the leg, topography of the foot. Topography of the leg. Here, first of all, we should talk about the popliteal fossa. Popliteal fossa. It has walls. You see, it's like they say diamond-shaped fossa. Superomedial is the semimembranosus muscle, superolateral biceps femoris muscle, inferior medial and lateral, two heads of the gastrocnemius muscle, rhomboid shape. The floor of this muscle is the popliteus muscle, but here we also have vessels, the structures, nerve, vein, artery, and VA. The order of the structures from the back to anterior side, which runs in the popliteal fossa. Clear. Then, from the inferior angle of this fossa, it continues into the crura popliteal canal. Crura popliteal canal runs from the popliteal fossa to the back side of the medial malleolus. The walls of this canal: posterior wall, soleus muscle, anterior wall, you see these vessels, tibialis posterior muscle. These walls which make structures which make the crura popliteal canal. Here you see this canal. From this canal started this canal. You see here we have artery which runs anywhere to there. This canal we call musculoperoneus inferior canal. And here we have musculoperoneus superior canal. Musculoperoneus superior canal for the nerve, for the common for the superficial fibular nerve. This canal make with help of the peroneus longus muscle, a little bit peroneus brevis, and lateral surface of the fibula. One canal. Musculoperoneus superior. muscular peroneus inferior canal, here canal, it's a canal for the artery and vein. This canal runs between flexor hallucis longus muscle and fibula, posterior surface of the fibula. You see this posterior group, there are tendons of the muscles that cross each other. Here you can see the first decussation, you see. First, the most medial muscle here, flexor digitorum. It runs to the lateral side. The most lateral muscle, flexor hallucis longus, it runs to the middle side of the foot. You see, they cross each other. And tibialis posterior runs between them to the middle cuneiform bone. You see, hallucis, then this one. Clear these canals a little bit. So retinaculum, behind the medial and lateral malleolus, we have retinaculum, here peroneum, here flexorum. I said about this. And you see 3 canals for the tendons. Each tendon covered here with, under the retinaculum flexorum with synovial vagina. They have synovial sheath. So each muscle. But also we have fourth canal, which is the here fourth canal between between behind the third one, the fourth canal, for the vessels and nerves. Behind the medial malleolus, we have two retinaculum, peroneum superius and inferius. Behind the under the retinaculum peroneum superius, each tendon, of the peroneus longus and brevis muscle runs in the common synovial sheath. But then in the inferior, under the inferior retinaculum, each tendon covered with its own synovial vagina, synovial sheath. Насчет платных отработок, кто у вас преподаватель? И что вы хотите?
На нее нужно записываться или как?
Вы к ней подойдите.
То есть можно ей, да?
Конечно, вы к ней подойдите, скажите, что вот у вас платные отработки, вы хотите их отработать. Если она скажет, что все пропало, придете ко мне. Тогда придете ко мне. What did I talk about? Retinaculum, yes? Here, one common synovial sheath covered 2 tendons. Here, 2 synovial sheaths covered its own. And you see, peroneus longus, this synovial sheath continue to the foot, to the plantar surface of the foot. Okay, dorsal side. Here we have 2 retinaculum extensorum, superior, between the malleolus, and inferior, a little bit lower. This we see inferior. And also 4 canals, 3 canals, 3 canals to the tendons, and 4th here, deeper between first and second, for the vessel, dorsalis pedis artery, vein, and a deep fibular nerve runs here. No, we will study these arteries and veins a little bit later. Now I only call them. So, foot. I think that I finished with the topography and facets of the leg. Foot. On the foot, we have the muscles of the dorsal part, dorsal group, and plantar group. Dorsal group, extensor digitorum brevis muscle. Extensor digitorum brevis muscle, here you can see tendons of this muscle. This one, the belly. You see, this belly is started from the tarsal bones, the lateral part of the foot, and from the calcaneus bone, from the cuboid bone, and trans to the corresponding toes. So these 3 bundles, four bundles, we call extensor digitorum, and one part, the separate muscle, extensor hallucis brevis muscle. You see 2 muscles on the dorsal of the dorsal surface, extensor hallucis brevis and this extensor digitorum. The tendons of these muscles, extensor brevis, they are joined to the extensor digitorum longus and extends corresponding to us. Clear. So we have here dorsal fascia. This retinaculum extensorum, thick part of this fascia. It's this bundles, the thicker part. But also we have here a deep fascia. You see, deep fascia covers these muscles from the dorsal side. Oh, that's all. On the plantar side. I can't show nothing. I can't show. This one, plantar aponeurosis. It's not muscle. It's fascia. It's superficial layer of the plantar fascia, which make here a very, very thick something. This plantar aponeurosis. What can you see here? This group, lateral, it's like the hypotenar. This medial group is something like the tenar group, and this central group. You see, this palmar aponeurosis, plantar aponeurosis, these bundles, it runs here deeper and here deeper, and this separates these two parts. And also we have here two grooves, lateral plantar groove and medial plantar groove. But about muscles, I think that I should show you models. Something like this. The middle group, the central, and the lateral. The middle group, muscles of the tenar muscles of the hallux. These are abductor hallucis muscle. Abductor hallucis, you see, it started from the middle side of the calcaneus tuberosity and runs to the middle side of the head of the tarsal bone into the base of the proximal phalanx. Abduct hallux. Then here we have two heads of the flexor hallucis brevis muscle. This tendon of the flexor hallucis longus. Here we have two heads of the flexor hallucis brevis muscle. And finally we have here they show these heads. And finally we have these and these adductor hallucis muscle. You see, adductor hallucis, flexor hallucis brevis muscle. Adductor hallucis, it runs from the from the tarsal bones, and it's oblique head, and transfer head starts from the fourth metatarsal bones and attached to the medial lateral sesamoid bone of the and to the base of the first metatarsal to the first of the proximal phalanx. So here, these two adductor hallucis. Then in the lateral group, hypotenal, we have abductor digiti minimi, and below it flexor digiti minimi, number 4. Abductor here and flexor here. Then the central group, you see, just under the plantar aponeurosis, this one, you can see muscle. Here it is. This muscle, flexor digitorum brevis muscle. You see, it runs to the torus from 2nd to 5th. Its tendon divided into two bundles, and each bundle is set to the base of the medial phalanx, like the flexor digitorum superficialis here, and flexor digitorum longus, which started from the posterior group of the leg muscles. It's like the flexor digitorum profundus on the forearm. It runs to the distal phalanx. We take off this. You can see this tendon of the flexor digitorum longus. Flexor digitorum longus, this one. And now we can see this muscle, quadratus plantaris muscle. Quadratus plantaris muscle, strange muscle. It's originated from the calcaneus tuberosity and inset to the tendon of the flexor digitorum longus. So this muscle uses tendon of the other muscle to flex torus. to flexors and to the pronate foot. Then we also have the lumbricalis muscle, this one, lumbricalis muscle. The lumbricalis muscle, the similar muscle, they originated from the tendons of the flexor digitorum and said to the tendon of the flexor extensor digitorum. And this one, all these, interossei plantaris and interossei dorsalis, this muscle are also, you see, they runs in this direction like the abductor and deeper from this direction like the adductor, but they abduct and adduct to the second term. In the hand to the third, in the foot to the second. Abduct and adduct. Clear? And also we can add that here we have deep fascia. The plantar aponeurosis, it's the thick part of the superficial fascia, and deep fascia, it's like the main compartment space for the tendon of the flexor digitorum, lumbricalis muscle, flexor digitorum brevis muscle, and quadratus plantar muscle. So it covered the interossei muscle and adductor hallucis here. Welcome.